Today, I'm going to show you how to sync the KO2 with any pocket operator. But, really quick, today's patron shout-out goes to Shane Hamilton. Thank you so very much for the support. Now, let's get started. So there are actually two different ways to sync the KO2 with a pocket operator. The first way is the way that I actually recommend doing it, and that is to have the KO2 as the master clock. That means that the tempo of the pocket operator is going to follow the tempo of the KO2, and your transport controls, so start and stop basically, will happen on the KO2 rather than on the pocket operator. The other way is just simply reversing those roles. So the pocket operator would be the master, and the clock of the pocket operator will control the clock of the KO2, and of course then the starting and stopping of the pocket operator sequencer will start and stop the KO2 sequencer. I don't recommend doing it this way for a couple different reasons. First of all, the tempo is actually pretty difficult to dial in perfectly on a pocket operator, whereas here on the KO2, it's as easy as holding the tempo button. You can even type it in. So if you want like 142, yeah. The KO2 also just has many more features than the pocket operators, and for that reason alone, I think it's worth having the KO2 as the master. And the last reason is that you'd actually need a TRS splitter in addition to the other cables we're going to mention to make a pocket operator the master. That's because you have to split the output into both an audio signal and the sync signal. And that's because pocket operators just have audio/sync in a combo jack and audio/sync out in a combo jack. So let's take a look at method number one. This again is making the KO2 the master. For this method, you're just going to need a pair of TRS cables. That's it. Well, in addition to the KO2 and a pocket operator, of course. So first, let's get the audio out of our pocket operator going into the audio in of the KO2. Technically, you could skip this step if you had both of these outputs going to a different device, or if you didn't want the audio of the Mega Man or whatever pocket operator you're using going into the KO2. But I think this just helps make a pretty clean and neat setup. Okay, we can very clearly hear the pocket operator sounds coming through the KO2. Nice. Now we're going to take the sync out of our KO2 here. So sync and then O. And we're going to put that into the input of our pocket operator, like that. Now we're going to want to set the sync mode of our pocket operator. So to do that, you hold the top right button, and then you're going to press BPM. And as you can see, every time we press that, we cycle through one of the 6 different sync modes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we actually want to set this to sync mode 2. What that is going to do is listen for a sync input through the left jack, and then just send a straight audio signal out of the right jack. Also, while we're on the pocket operator here, let's grab a kick drum and put it 4 on the floor just so we have a basic pattern that's ready to go. Now on the KO2, there is one setting we need to check or adjust, so we're going to hold Shift and press Erase to get to the System menu. We're then going to hit plus until we get to Sync. We're going to press Enter. And we want to tab over using plus to the out section. Press enter to go in there. And we want to make sure that our KO2 is set to 8. The options here are 8, 16, or 24. And we just want to make sure it's set to 8. That is going to be the correct pulse speed to sync up to the pocket operator. So now, before we start, we actually need to arm our pocket operator for playback. So to do that, we hit play on our pocket operator. You can see that the playhead is flashing there, but no sequence is running. So right now, our Mega Man is actually waiting for a signal to start playing. So if I press play to start the sequencer on the KO2, we can hear that the sequencer on the pocket operator has also started. And if we hit stop, it also stops. Now, if we want to resync them at the start, we do need to hit play again to toggle it off, and then reset it or rearm it by pressing play again, and then go to the start here. There you go. Now, what's cool is on the KO2, we could also then do some real-time sampling by setting one of our pads to a length of 2 measures, and then hitting play. And now, just like that, we have a sample that's independent of the audio from the Mega Man. But this is not a sampling tutorial, so away it goes. So really quick, let me just get some basic drum sounds here. Okay. So I've got this clap slash snare drum here, and then I've got a closed hat and an open hat. If we once again arm the Mega Man for playback here, go to the beginning, and if we hit record and start, I'm going to drum these sounds in on top of the Mega Man's sequenced audio. Now remember, our kick is coming from the Mega Man. So now check it out. We have direct control of just the Mega Man's audio. And we can actually send the Mega Man's audio to the effects without having to affect the rest of the drum sounds. Which is pretty cool. If we were to turn the Mega Man all the way down, that's what the sounds on the KO2 sound like without the Mega Man. So this is my recommended way of syncing the KO2 with any pocket operator. So now let's talk about the other ways we could sync these two. No matter how we do this, we're going to need this TRS adapter here. So this is going to split the left adapter on the pocket operator into sync in / audio in, and then it'll split the output into sync out / audio out. Technically, there are a few ways we can sync these. We could put it on this side and then run the audio and the sync from the KO2 into the pocket operator, thus making the KO2 the master clock, but giving the Mega Man the audio first of the KO2. So that would be kind of a weird way of doing it. The way I'm going to show you is still keeping the KO2 as the hub for the audio, but allowing the pocket operator to be the master clock. So to do that, we're going to plug our TRS adapter into the output of the pocket operator. We're going to take a cable here and we're going to plug it into the ring side of things. You'll notice the adapter is labeled ring and tip. Ring is going to be the audio signal. So that is going to go into the input of our KO2 here. Going to set the volume back to just under max. And now if we hit play on the pocket operator, we're going to hear that basic pattern that we sequenced. Let's go to main and turn the reverb off. Now we need to plug into the tip side of things and put that into the sync in. And now we need to set the sync mode of our pocket operator to SY1. Okay, by holding the top right button, pressing PPM, you'll notice when we're plugged in like this, we only have the option to choose between 0 and 1. We want sync mode 1. Now we once again need to change a few settings here on the KO2. So shift and erase to get the system. Sync, enter, now in. Now we need to set this to, once again, 8. Hit enter, and just like that, when we hit play on the pocket operator, we should hear the kick drum sequence on the Mega Man, as well as the little drum pattern we sequenced on the KO2, and they should play in sync. And you can also change the tempo on the pocket operator, and the tempo will change on the KO2. Just like that. Again, I don't really recommend syncing them this way because you need the extra adapter, and also just having the tempo be managed by the pocket operator is so much more finicky than being able to manage it on the KO2, which is a far more like proper device. But it will work. So there you go. That's how you sync the KO2 with any pocket operator. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment down below. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for the support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.